that's us on. So, who wants to do a recap then of what happened last time we played, which was 2 weeks ago?
Put a snake in a bag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, any advance on put a snake in a bag?
A big snake in a bag.
Yeah.
Session 127. The Death Breather.
No.
The waves of justice hatched a cunning plan to kill the devilish death breather to help the miners of the village of Ulris. Hold on, we went to the mines. Hafen turned into a bug to investigate the mines. We found a dead blue dragonborn and some shitted snake skin. And after finding that, we were like, fuck it, let's go into the mines. So we proceeded into the mines. Rurik and Zorga went down a winch into a hole to underneath the level of the mines that we were at. Naren stayed by the winch to help them back out when they needed out. And the rest of us, we stayed up above and we were trying to find where they were below us while we were above them through soul connection of Zorgar and Muir. And then Naren started taking some damage by the winch. He started going crazy. He was like, I think I'm going to die. And the rest of us were like, well, okay. So we all went and met back with Naren. After taking some damage, we found some bitch-ass snake in a hole, is what I wrote.
Some bitch-ass snake.
And then we went outside to rest because we'd taken some damage and we're like, we don't know what the fuck's going on.
And we went back in to see the bitch-ass snake.
We went back in to see the bitch-ass snake. Krafen turned into a water elemental to flush the snake out of the hole, possibly into the bag of holding. That's what happened. There was a skill challenge, and Krafen tried to talk to the snake instead to be like, oh, here, I'm going to convince you to go into this bag, and I'm going to promise you a bunch of food, and you're going to not kill anyone. And he was like, okay, as long as you give me loads of nice, tasty cows that aren't actually cows, I'm happy with that. And so he slithered on down the hole right into the bag of holding, and then...
He was wrangled.
Yeah, he was wrangled, and Raffin was like, here's the plan, and we were like, well, that's a bit weird, why don't you just take him to your tower thing that you have? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and then he did that, and let him out in a cave in there, and then he came back, he teleported back to us. We got rid of the gas in the tavern. I don't know, the tavern, the mines.
The cavern.
Yeah, the cavern. The snake was called Scalen. And then the 8th Legion arrived.
Yeah. Oh, and we got a chant going in the end.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a chant going in the end.
The second chant of a chain of chants.
Which disguise are we in right now? No.
Well, we're back as the Thingy family, aren't we?
Are we the Thingy family?
I thought we were the adventurers.
No, because not Zorgar, but Finn's character burst in Waves of Justice style, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we're Waves of Justice right now.
I mean, it's the next morning anyway.
It is the next
So
morning.
we can be whoever.
So yeah, like right now, you've just woken up. You can see outside the windows of the tavern, there are this big troop of soldiers. They're flying the 8th Legion Insignia. Not Naren's 8th Legion Insignia. This one is a little more boring. This is... I marked out that's kind of... Is that going to focus? It's not going to... Probably not. What if I hide?
If you put your hand behind it.
Oh. No.
Where is this?
It's like an 8 threaded by a trident. That's their symbol. That's your Legion symbol.
Pretty.
They don't.
Cool.
This Legion, they don't have the trident.
Oh. Wait, was the trident added after me? Or was
Balak's in that. They added the trident.
Love Balak's.
Graphic design passion.
Throw a trident on it. That'll do.
Yeah, love that.
So right now, you guys have all just woken up. You can see there is this troop of soldiers. Naren, give us a. I don't know. Give us a perception check.
Is that right?
Something happened there, yeah. 13. Yeah, you can see there is like you can see there are more soldiers in this 8th Legion than in yours, and they are better equipped. There's like between 160 and 200 soldiers in this village right now. And you can see also that they are, there's this captain at their head who's, he's red scaled, he's wearing armor, and he's talking to the Luminar receptionist. But you obviously in the distance you can't see what they're saying.
Did Valix ever mention like they split off from the division, or that they were the whole of the 8th Legion?
He never claimed that they were the whole one, but didn't really elaborate anything.
I guess I should have taken more of an interest in his life.
Also, where your army came from, I guess.
I don't need to know where they came from. I just need to know why they're here.
They could have been
I knew that they'll serve.
I knew they came from Scale.
Random villagers, and you're like, yeah, sure, sounds about right. Come on in.
Yeah, I'm not going to discriminate if they're villagers.
Or assassins. That was just fun.
So right now you guys are all just your normal selves because you've just woken up. So what is your plan?
Shall we suit up, Waves of Justice style?
Yes, let's suit up. Line up, everyone. Everyone's gonna have a little magical girl transformation.
Like club or whatever it is.
Yeah. Or Transformers if you prefer that, I guess. Like,
Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
I was going to go for Powerpuff Girls, but yeah.
I thought that was more of a Ben 10 sort of action you had.
Yeah,
going
I
on
thought you
there.
were doing
It depends on the Power Rangers. Some of them they have to watch.
Okay.
But Wild Force they had a phone.
What was the
No,
choice
in
again?
SPD they had a phone.
Hello, suit.
Yeah, like in Wild
They
Force,
also
but
have
the phone
the-
had legs, and they
Was
could
it
like put it on their chest.
Was it the dinosaur one where they had the wheel that they span and they were like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Oh, no.
Isn't there one that specifically they're in cars? Wouldn't that be the one that they have a wheel in?
That's SPD.
No, Power Ranger Turbo as well.
Oh, I forgot that.
Because there was a film.
I didn't...
It was
Yeah, I
pretty
forgot
good.
about
There was like a
that.
volcano in it.
Whoa.
Anyways.
Turbo.
Uh,
Wow.
sure. So you guys are all kind of trooping into the one room and then disguising yourselves. Is that right?
Yeah.
How are you disguising Sora, who was not a member of Waves of Justice?
Miscellaneous member of Waves of Justice who won't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like the... Yeah, just an average person, I guess.
Average person? Sure. Yeah, so, you all troop into the one room and the weaves are magic, and you're all, you all change color and shape and size, and you are once again Waves of Justice. What is your plan?
Storm into the office, make a ginormous scene about, saving the village.
Have we spoken to the secretary yet about cleaning up their problem?
I don't think so.
No, the office was closed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I guess we just go in with that kind of intent and then be like, oh, hello there. You're here too?
Bit late.
They're basically
I think for this.
the Luminar guy and the guy who looks like who's in charge of the 8th Legion. They're just talking in like the central town square, basically.
Yes, let's go down and... Oh shit, we haven't had breakfast yet. Oh.
God, we're gonna be hungry.
Maybe invite them in for breakfast and we can discuss it over a nice brunch.
Should
Sure.
we get a chant going through the streets of
Yeah, why not?
approaching? Really big flashy entrance.
So you're marching at the tavern and going, making a beeline for them. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sure. So you all troop out. You can see that the bartender is kind of confused that the adventurers came from the room rented by that nice family.
Ah, shit.
But he doesn't say anything, and you troop out.
Maybe you should have taken the back door.
No.
Saying hi, we could be family friends. He doesn't know.
Yeah. How many in the family? How many in this group?
Same number.
And what's the height variation?
The map's basically 1-to-1.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Body proportions?
Roughly the same, yeah.
Roughly the same.
Sora's here now. So.
General tone of voice?
Yeah, Sora was in the family as well.
Oh.
So it's actually, it's a better comparison now that Sora is also involved in Waves of Justice.
It's quite remarkable.
Whatever, we all need alter egos. Yeah, it's fine. We're fine.
There are secret identities.
The barkeep knows
Krivkak's family.
We're in 3 layers of disguise here.
Sure. So you guys head out into the streets, and you can see, these two are they're talking. The receptionist is kind of like, well, he's got his arms crossed. He's looking pretty proud of himself, actually. And the captain is just like looking confused. And as you approach, you can hear them going like, well, I mean, you've been delayed so long. We had to find someone else to take care of it. And like, is that so? And then you guys kind of appear.
I'm gonna brandish the. Is it a tooth we took from? Oh no, what was the scale? Oh, with the shape.
I think it was a tooth.
Yeah, it's like
Tooth, yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
tooth.
Gonna. Yeah, just hold it up in the air.
I'll hype man. Dance. Silent.
The receptionist kind of like turns around and he goes, and here they are. What did you say you were called? Sorry, Waves of
Waves of Justice.
Yes, Waves of Justice.
Didn't
Captain?
get to speak to you last night, but we've just come to say we've completed the task for you. Was no bother.
Excellent.
Easy
Well,
peasy.
yes, Captain Carth here is. You've just beaten him to it. I'm afraid, Captain. And the captain, he looks like he's sort of ages with Naren and Zorgar. Maybe slightly older. And he crosses his arms. He says, "I see. Waves of Justice. You're not an adventuring party I'm aware of. Must have been a difficult task upon which to make your name for the first time."
This isn't the first time. We've done a few small gigs. This is just maybe our biggest outing yet.
I see. Where we all trained.
Trained.
Homeschooled.
Wait, did he ask if we were trained?
Yeah. But he assumes you're trained. He asks where you were trained.
In the house with my brother, wrestling. As young kids. Is that training?
He was just wrestling Daddy in the film.
I see. And this tooth is the only proof you have of the beast's demise?
I'm also flapping about a scale.
I mean, you try hauling a giant snake into the village.
The snake, was it? So is it just up in the mines? Because obviously we're going to have to verify that the job has been completed satisfactorily and that ours is safe once more.
Be my guest.
It's
not really my mines. Don't really have a say in this.
Yeah, we burnt it.
Yeah, the receptionist is like, "Go right ahead, Captain." And this captain, he said, he was referred to as Captain Carth. He kind of makes a gesture, and then from a small troop of this large 200 soldier force, like you could tell, Naren, that this amount of soldiers is blatantly overkill. In fact, even Zorgar, and basically all of you can tell that there is no way that all these soldiers are here just to deal with this problem. That's like you can't, the mines would never fit 200 people down there.
Can I ask, is it well known that the 8th Legion defected?
It's difficult to say. You've not heard it reported widely, but Balax has been like, well, like from chats that you've overheard from the legionaries and Balax, the assumption is that this will be well known in the higher
military.
tiers. Like within the military, people will know, but the public won't.
You'd have to claim one of us was military. Through that paperwork.
But yeah, he kind of makes a gesture, and then this kind of small troop, there's maybe 10 or 15 of them. These soldiers kind of depart. You can see they have all sorts of equipment with them. They have like big helmets and bellows, and this one of them is carrying this massive roll of like tubing, and they start heading off towards the mines.
Okay.
What was the main dude's name?
The captain.
Mm-hmm.
He was referred to as Captain Karth. He says, "Well, we'll verify that everything is all right and that Luminar operations can resume, and then we'll be on our way." And he kind of turns to Nara and he says, "I didn't catch her name."
1 minute.
Ages.
Kriv.
Kriv. Right. Well, in future, Mr. Kriv, I would ask that you leave these things to qualified personnel. Vigilantism helps no one.
I'm afraid it helps us. Got to make a living somehow in these dire times.
Yes, well, you were lucky in this case that you survived unscathed. The situation could easily have gone the other way. You don't have the equipment. It's very reckless action of you.
I'll try not to get in your way again, Captain.
He kind of nods, and then, but he nods in kind of a way like this conversation is over, kind of a way. And he kind of like starts to turn, and he's kind of talking to other military personnel with him. The receptionist kind of turns and says, "Well, that's we owe you a great debt. I'm very, very grateful. I mean, of course, it's sod's law. They turn up the next day, but I'm very. You've done a good service to this town. Thank you."
Any time at all. If you have any other trouble, don't hesitate to contact us.
Certainly. Where are you based?
Wish we had business cards.
We kind of float around. If you just put out the message, it'll get to us.
It's like, I see. Okay, sure. I'll. Okay. What is your guys' plan?
I want to ask the receptionist when their boss will be back.
Lars, he will be back. He should be back in a few hours or so, I think. Why?
Would it be... I'd like to speak to them if that's all right.
Oh, of course, I'm sure they'd be interested to speak to you. Yeah, definitely. Are you just staying in town?
Yeah, just gotta be staying in town for maybe the rest of the day. Might head off this evening.
Certainly. Where are you? Where's next?
Wherever the path takes us.
I see.
Wherever the road goes.
Thank you very much. Those maps were very informative.
Oh, I'm glad there were reviews. What kind of beast was it? You said it was a snake?
Yeah, the big old snake.
I mean, how big?
I didn't see the whole thing myself, but bigger than me.
How exactly did you deal with it? How did you? There's the white damp down there. It should. I'd have expected it would have knocked you out in minutes.
Like I said, we're experts in this area. We have our trade secrets, I'm afraid.
Say no more. Well, I'll be interested to see the corpse when it gets dragged out. That'd certainly be.
Might have an issue retrieving the corpse, seeing as in the process of killing it, we had to burn it.
Well, that's awfully reckless.
No, we lured it out of the explosive cave first.
All right. Well, surely there'll be remnants. A skeleton or something.
Snakes are surprisingly flammable.
Especially
I didn't say.
poisonous gas snakes.
I mean, you're saying it disintegrated to dust?
I didn't stick around to see the end of the burning, to be honest. So there's...
So you just left the fire unattended? He's like, I'm sorry, you have to excuse me, I'm gonna have to go and make sure everything's alright. And he starts walking off towards the mine. Kind of a little bit of a
Nice
jog
one,
on.
Aaron.
You told me to say it was burned. I wanted to say it fell down one of those
You
massive
said
holes.
that you didn't fucking watch it be
What?
burned.
I thought we decided it was dead inside the tubes.
I thought we decided it got burned.
I thought we were saying it was
I was
burned.
going to go with died in one of the tubes because they'd have a harder time finding the body.
And
Also,
eventually find it.
with burning, there's evidence left after burning. You know, there's char and ash and such.
Well, they're not going to find a body either way, so the problem is dealt with.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to find a body,
Well,
but now we have a blatant lie in their
Yeah.
lap.
Yeah, it's a new problem.
Either way, it was a blatant lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one was harder to prove.
I feel like we would be able to go in the holes fine.
Can everyone who speaks Draconic give me a perception check, please?
Yeah.
Or speaks or understands.
Not currently. I'm not casting my spell. Well, no.
Well, you'd
God damn
have
it.
to, I guess, cast as a reaction, hearing something.
No.
No.
Is it seeming you cast Emma to make us
How-
all
how do you-
look different?
How do you open your character sheet again?
Maybe.
Over
You
here,
go to
there's,
the little actor tab, which is
got
on
it.
the right hand side. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there a shortcut to that?
Oh, probably. I just don't
Click
know.
something.
So what check is it we're making? Perception.
Perception.
I can probably add a shortcut to it in the macros, can't I?
Maybe, I'm not sure. It might be slightly more complicated than just dragging it onto the macros.
Here we go.
So Zarzan got a 22, everyone else got 8 or a 9. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, I got it now.
So,
Do you not get to roll it? Do you not have perception? You can
I
understand
can't.
Draconic.
I cannot understand Draconic at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled on Malbert.
Is the modifier different for Zarzan?
Sorry, Martin.
Hey, Malburn's here.
I mean, you rolled a 17, so whatever your modifier is, doesn't matter, it's high enough.
Zarzan gets an extra +1.
Okay, so 23. Okay, so Zarzan, you're kind of
Perceiving.
not super involved in this discussion, but you're just kind of, you can hear as Karth is talking to the other people in the Legion. You can't hear specifically what they're saying, but you hear mention of Chicali Harbor, Western Coast, and kind of you get the impression that like they're headed somewhere else after this.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope. Did we give Balax a stone?
Yeah.
Flank him. You got one army in front of him. You got us behind him. Overpower. Take the soldiers. Kill the leader. Easy.
Yeah, we're not
Throw some
equivalent to
Pokeballs.
half an army.
Sure we are.
Is this 8th Legion the number of troops? I know it's bigger than my 8th Legion, but it's also bigger than our combined force. It's organized numbers.
It's difficult to say. Probably not. It's because Zorgar has remnants of the 6th Legion and a bit of the 14th as well. So I think you're probably either they're no bigger than yours. They might be roughly the same size, or you're larger combined, but they're better equipped.
Better equipped, and they're probably less green than my troops. I guess let's go get some breakfast.
Yeah.
Should we not call Balax?
Give him a call over. Well, we also maybe shouldn't have breakfast in the inn we're staying at, seeing as we're not the Krivkax family.
I think we probably have to have a conversation with that bartender anyway.
I say we just leave it unattended.
Okay. Okay, well, you know.
Actually, yeah, I guess I'm gonna pop off into an alleyway or behind a building or something to contact Balex.
Sure. Sure, so you kind of turn to head off, and then you head off into this, kind of find a little bit behind a little building, kind of out of earshot of everyone. You can't see any soldiers. They're kind of, you can see they're starting to kind of spread throughout the village as if they're kind of expecting to be here a while. So it's like, there's quite a heavy 8th Legion presence right now, just kind of throughout the town. If you're able to find somewhere which you're confident is pretty out of earshot.
Can I contact Balex through the stone?
Sure, yeah. What do you say?
Hey Balex, just giving you a wee update. We've
Commander!
ran into the 8th Legion out here.
He doesn't say anything for a little while. He's like, I see.
So...
Are you alright? Is everything okay?
It's fine. They just managed to disguise us. But Zazen heard mention of them heading to the west coast, Chikali Harbor kind of area. So I think they might know something.
Well, I suppose the Keldrath was already aware we were here. So I suppose it was only a matter of time before they sent someone. What are their forces like?
Quite large.
Well equipped.
Maybe slightly smaller than our entire force, or maybe around the same size.
Right, okay.
So when you were in 8th Legion, this scale 8th Legion, were you the captain, or
yes,
there's a new captain?
Yeah, well, I suppose they wouldn't be dissolving the entire Legion, otherwise questions would get asked.
His name was Captain Karth? Was that his name, Karth?
Yeah.
Yes, I recognize the name. You can give us an insight check.
Relax, don't you be lying to me.
He
It's his
doesn't
son.
recognize the name.
It's his son.
Aha! 15.
Balex Jr.
15. It might be like stone interference, but you feel like you detected like a little catch in his voice when you mentioned that name. He's like, I see, Commander.
Balex, we're in troubling waters here, so if there's anything you need to tell me.
Like if it was your son.
Maybe it's his boyfriend. You never know.
Oh.
Could be.
No, Commander, nothing at all. What do you want us to do? And where are you? How long will it be before they're here?
We are just on the other side of the hills. What's this place called?
Scale map, hang on.
Funsville.
It doesn't say on the map. We're just on the other side of the hills.
Oh, wait, are you asking where
Aliens
we
of
are?
Sleep?
Yeah.
Hold on, I have notes. I have notes. Where are
Hang
we?
on,
Notes.
Balex, getting
I
notes.
have notes.
Please hold.
Hold on.
Hold for
Contemplate
notes.
your lies while you hold.
Aris.
We're in Aris.
O-R-I-S-S is what I have written down.
Aris.
Aris.
We're in Aris.
Aris kind of sounds like an American trying to say arse.
Ours.
Aris.
Aris?
Aris?
Well, if they have to go through the cove, we'll have the force that size will probably take them 3 or 4 days. What do you want us to do? We can hold here, or we can try and relocate, or
Have you found any new areas through scouting?
none that would be far enough away that they wouldn't likely find us. We'd have to go. It would be a significant relocation.
Oh, he's thinking.
Stay put for now. It should be a while until they reach you. But,
All right, Commander.
just prep any defenses, keep scouting for new areas, to maybe even break up the Legion into smaller hideouts for now.
Sure. All right. I'll get on it. How goes your travels? Have you any other developments?
We've spoken to Clan Ulvis.
Right. What do they say?
They seem they don't want wars and they don't want bloodshed, but if we can start making progress without bloodshed, they'll be with us. But we need to prove ourselves, prove that we can win this.
I see. Well, it's a difficult proposition, but I'm sure we're up to it, Commander.
Also about to speak to the leader of Clan Luminar.
Turin.
Yes?
All right. Okay. Well, that's good progress.
But I'll keep you updated, and if you hear anything else or remember anything else about your previous comrades that would aid us, don't hesitate to contact.
Certainly. He kind of is like, puts the stone down.
Relax, you little bitch. What are you hiding?
What are the rest of you guys doing during this while Naren's away on the stone?
I'm waiting for Naren because I'm wondering if we're going to be turning into the family disguise. So if anyone else has anything else they want to do.
So how are you guys all disguised right now? Like, where are you all disguised as?
Waves of Justice.
Yeah, but like more specifically, like.
So me and Rurak are both little. We look like Gek.
Sure. Okay.
Kobolds.
Kind of, yeah, kobolds, and everyone else is dragonborns of various colors, I would assume. Probably mainly chromatic and not other kind. Metallic.
Sure. Are you otherwise just still hanging out in this kind of central town square?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of off to the side a little bit.
Sure.
Here, little.
So your Naren goes away to go and try and get on the phone, and then kind of a minute or so goes by, and then Karth turns around and starts to address the rest of you guys, and he's like, actually, like, he kind of looks straight at Muir and says something in Draconic, and then kind of turns to Zarzan and says, so where are you all headed after this?
Well, Niall doesn't know. Maybe Zarzan knows.
Well, Naren's answer earlier was wherever the path takes us.
Wherever the path takes us, mate.
We could become a cult.
The dude abides.
That he does.
And this is not your first adventure, shall we say?
No.
Any other deeds that we might have heard about?
Maybe.
How thick is the air right now, Jake? See, I can't understand what either of them are saying.
How do you, like, in terms of, like,
Yeah,
how tense is things?
Yeah.
Pretty tense. You can see,
Jesus.
You're probably a little more perceptive because you're not dealing with a conversation. You can kind of see that like the way the soldiers are fanning around, they're starting to kind of encircle you almost, not like fully, but you know they now have a presence at all sides around you.
I'm a raise one finger and then run off towards where Naren went.
Sure. Okay. So where are you from? All of you. Because, like I say, unfortunately the first time I've heard of Waves of Justice. Where did the name come from? Naren, you probably see Rurak run up.
Are you done calling your boyfriend? We gotta go. There. It's going down.
He is my colleague.
Okay, true. Listen, we gotta go. You
Why,
gotta
what's
defuse this
happening?
situation. I don't know. I don't understand Draconic. It's just tense as shit.
Only
You
for
gotta.
2 minutes. There's two
you
other
gotta- You
draconic
have
speakers.
to defuse this situation. Yeah, well, none of them are doing it. So, go on.
Christ.
Go on.
Can I nudge
Oh,
at
right, back.
Naren and Zorkar's mum a little bit to try and take the lead?
Oh yeah, there's 3
Karen
other
Tall.
draconic speakers.
Yeah. Born and raised. Well, she kind of gestures to Muir and says, she's from Beleth. And he says, interesting. Whereabouts in Carantol are you from? And she says some neighborhood name in Draconic, and he's like, I see. Have any of you ever considered military service? If you're clearly capable, Scale could use you in a time like this.
No.
Oh.
Naren, are you coming back?
Yes.
Sure. Yes, you can kind of you probably hear that as you're kind of coming through. You can also similarly see that there are the soldiers are kind of fanned out. They are like pretty spread out throughout the village, but they're also kind of spread out in such a way that they are kind of encircling the town square where everyone is.
I'm just gotta walk up and immediately enter with a new conversation. Gotta ask, is this the Luminar secretary? Yeah.
This is just Karth and the 8th Legion. The Luminar secretary ran off to the mines to go and check
this is
everything else.
Karth.
Yeah.
Don't suppose you know any good places for breakfast around here?
Never been before. I would have thought you would if you're staying at the tavern, not.
Well, this is our first morning here. We only got into town yesterday. Didn't
I
have
see.
breakfast here.
How did you hear about the situation in the mines?
Oh, we were passing through the town, and then there was a lot of complaints from the tavern, so we thought we'd pop in. What about yourself? You've been a captain long?
Long enough.
Vague, very nice. I always saw myself as a captain one day.
You've considered military service?
A couple times, yeah.
What held you back?
Well, just not very good at I don't want to say following orders. It sounds so cliche, but sure.
A military lifestyle.
The food isn't good enough.
Costumes suck.
Can I get a different costume?
Did you say that right?
Myself, just a little bit quiet. I can't speak Draconic.
Sure.
You could have screamed that. And
He kinda,
still
like-
understood you.
he kind of looks at Rurak as he says that, and he's kind of like,
And the rector says it in common.
Well, this.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
heavy dwarven
correct.
voice out of Kobold. The costumes are shite. Says, yeah, a lot of people have that problem.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, maybe one day. Still got time left.
Well, there's no time like the present.
That's true. I have a few obligations to take care of first, though.
At that point, there's another voice, in common, a voice you don't recognize from kind of outside the town. Kind of a wet voice, kind of shouts, "I seek Master Fraffen of the Ring! I was told by the men on the ship he would be here." And this figure kind of walks into frame. They're shirtless. They're wearing trousers and a kind of like a clothy hangy bit. Their skin is teal blue. It's striped like a mackerel's. You can see they have gills on the side of their throat and a conch shell for a pauldron. Webbed hands, webbed feet. They got glowing yellow eyes. They're like a fish man. And kind of on their hip, or kind of like slung over one shoulder, but like balanced on their hip, there's this large container of water that they're carrying, and you can see there's like an eel in there. And this figure kind of like walks in and like crosses their arms and kind of waits for someone to respond to him.
I am going to cast Sending to this dude. And I'm gonna say, leave now, or you're gonna unleash a war on this town instantly. We'll find you later.
You'll be in a world of pain.
He doesn't say anything further after Lita sends that message, but he does still kind of stand there because he's like literally just arrived. And Karth kind of like turns and says, he doesn't actually say anything. He just kind of turns and like looks at everyone, but his eyes kind of narrow. And some of the other legionaries that you can see, they kind of go, "What do you guys do?"
I do my best to still pretend I can't hear anything. Look at Pigeon. Yeah.
Sure.
That
I'm
druid.
gonna point at him and look like this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, because I am just a kobold.
How am I disguised?
Well,
You're a
as a
dragonborn.
dragonborn.
Dragonborn, so.
Looks like you have a busy day ahead of you, Captain.
I'll go and approach the fish dude and say, how about I buy you a drink?
No!
Oh, no. Alright, I'll leave the fish dude alone.
If Raffen like begins to start moving, I like instantly grab his like leg and just
Fair
pull
enough.
it down, and try and don't do anything after that.
Sure. He says, Fish Dude continues standing there, and Karth kind of watches you all. You can see he puts a hand behind his back, and then the soldiers, like, there's like, like he puts a hand behind his back, and you can see some of the soldiers like immediately look to what his hand is doing behind his back, and you can kind of see like rumbles of movement and stuff like that within the kind of mass of soldiers.
The circle's starting to thicken.
It's kind of too early to tell, but it's definitely something has just happened. That the soldiers and Karth are aware of, like something has happened there, and it's just difficult to say what the effect of it's going to be. And Karth says, "I don't suppose any of you seasoned adventurers might have heard of such a figure."
Name rings a bell, but haven't really seen any druids. Never met a druid before.
I thought they were extinct.
Did they say Drew?
How did you know?
Yeah, they did.
He was a
they
druid.
said Master Druid. They said Terafin Master
Yeah,
Druid.
they
That's what they said.
Of the ring? Did it not say? I don't.
He said, "I seek Master Raffen of the Ring."
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no druid.
was a
The ring is
classic
well
blunder.
known.
Classic blunder.
You just go. It sounds like a druid.
Like I said, the name rings a bell. An adventurer from the mainland, is he not?
I'm not sure. I've never heard of him.
Oh, you ought to get in some more adventuring circles. Widen your network.
I mean, he sounds like an interesting figure. If everyone here knows about him, why don't you tell me more?
Like I said, I don't know much, but apparently a druid, part of an adventuring party on the mainland. Something about pixies, I don't know.
You keep up with a lot of mainland news?
Just the highlights.
More adventuring news than mainland news.
He kind of turns to the fish guy. He says, "I'm afraid I'm don't know anyone by that name, sir. But you're I'd encourage you to ask around the town. Perhaps they've seen him." And you can see now that the circle is starting to thicken up a bit. And the fish dude is kind of like he's now kind of stuck in the circle as well, and he's totally not sure what to do.
Well, if you need any help, Captain, we'll just go grab some breakfast. Just come and grab us if you need a hand. Always happy to help.
If it's all the same, why don't we break bread together? I can have some food whipped up.
That sounds good. We're dying for some food.
Kind of makes a gesture, and then some soldiers behind him start like alright, fuck, well, I open their bags up.
There's no windows to jump out of this time.
And then basically, eventually, like these kind of like packs of rations get past the carpet. He kind of hands them out to everyone. And he kind of he starts eating, and you see him look at you all, and it looks like he makes an evaluation, and he says, just before I'm sure you're anxious to get back on the road and everything, but can I see your adventuring company papers?
Always with fucking papers. God damn it. Our what now, sorry?
Your papers.
You need papers to be an adventurer.
And then you say, because we're doing such a long thing with these Dragonborn, I cast comprehend languages at this point.
That makes sense, yeah.
I wasn't aware we needed papers to be a adventuring party.
Oh yes, well in dangerous times like these,
First-hand,
can't exactly have paramilitary organizations like yourselves going around willy-nilly, can we?
Paramilitary? I mean, there's only 5 of them. 6.
Well, you're clearly capable.
8 of us.
Incapable of counting them.
You know, like I said, homeschooled. That's why we do what we do. And why we're not educators.
And at this point, he's like beckoned the fish guy over, and the fish guy's like, oh, "Fuck, okay." He kind of comes over and gets handed some food. He's like, it's like a fish, and he kind of looks at it like a sardine, and he kind of looks at it, and he just kind of holds it.
It's a bit insensitive,
This is
isn't it?
awkward.
And Karth kind of looks at the fish guy and says, "Where are you from, sir?" And the fish guy kind of he looks at Karth, and then he looks at Lida, and he says, "I am a druid of the ring. I'm from everywhere. Have you seen Master Raffin? I really must speak with him." And Karth says, kind of shakes his hand. kind of takes a drink.
Oh, there's bad news from
Is
the
he
moon.
drinking water or ale?
It's an opaque water skin. It's kind of difficult to say. Probably water.
Can I ask him for some ale?
Ale.
It's breakfast time.
Well, badass adventuring party.
Yeah,
Need
it's
to keep up the
afternoon
act. Also, things are about to kick off.
You got any ale anywhere, boss? I'm sure we do somewhere. And so again, similarly, one of the kind of hands it out. He kind of looks at it mournfully.
I should have just made an absolute terror mess for Rum.
And this water skin gets passed forward. And he hands it over. And he says, well, if you've no papers, then I'm afraid I'll have to escort you to your nearest office, because the Scale Lord likes to keep track of people like you.
Fair enough. Will these papers cost us much? We're not very
Oh no.
liquid right now.
Well, you've taken care of the problem here. I'm sure I'll see any fees are taken care of.
That's very kind of you. Where is our nearest office, may I ask? Because we don't want to get too off track.
I thought you were going where the road leads.
Yeah, but does
Yeah,
the
the
road
road
lead
goes
to the
the other
office?
It says it does today.
Oh, does it? Aye.
My way, or the highway.
You go the highway then.
He says we'll take you to Karen Tom.
Is that the nearest office?
Yes.
Way,
Yeah,
weren't
we
we?
should maybe consider opening up some more, local stops.
But we tend not to have very many adventuring parties in this day of age. Day and age.
You know, it's a real shame. It's a good form of making friends and money all at the same time.
I suppose you'll be putting any adventuring funds on your tax returns as well.
Of course, yeah.
Guys, country sucks.
Told you it needed reforming.
He puts his hand behind his back again. You feel like the circle is starting to kind of close in ever so slightly.
Can I ask why so many troops to deal with a giant snake? It only took the 8 of us to deal with it.
It's unfortunately not our only business. We are making a temporary stop.
I see. The war calls.
Just in interest of national security.
Quite serious then. Surprised this is in the hands of a captain and not a commander if it's national security.
So kind of all the soldiers just like turn around and look at each other. And he kind of like... You can see you can see that one fucking... You can see that one like... That one bit.
Aaron's too sassy for this.
At least my answers are better than nope.
That's exactly what Zarza would say in any language.
I will say, Zarzan's nope at least didn't dig us into this hole.
It kind of did. I was free. I was out of the circle.
Druid, that's where you messed up.
Yeah, that was my slip up.
You can see he kind of goes... Like he kind of bites his lip and he says,
Dragonborn have legs.
kind of like you kind of like you can see Carver part like kind of one of his teeth kind of pokes out the side. And he's kind of going,
Can I quickly ask? I've been looking at him for more than a minute, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Does he have more hit points than me?
No, not really. It's about the same.
Does he have any magical items on him? I forgot he could do that.
Nope.
God damn it.
How's his shins looking?
His shins. He's wearing big steel he's got the steel plated shin guard things on his boots.
How about his Achilles heel?
Got nice sessions.
So
Does he have an Achilles heel? He's a Dragonborn.
Yeah, he would. He's humanoid.
Well, only Achilles had an Achilles heel.
Because it's Achilles' heel.
Achilles' heel.
Yeah, but your Achilles heel is the.
Yeah,
bit-
something.
Yeah, we all have Achilles heels.
Yeah.
That's not just.
Oh no,
Adam's
yeah,
apple.
yeah. I thought that was
It's all of
I
our
thought it was your Achilles tendon.
Oh, it could be it.
I'm not sure. I know the thing you mean. That thing is he's wearing leather boots at that end.
Hmm. Alright. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, he kind of doesn't quite know how to respond to that for a minute, and he says, "I'm confident I'll be able to deal with it all the same."
I'm sure you will. Might even get you the promotion.
The circle kind of continues to close in.
What do I do?
Don't move a muscle.
Confusing seems to be off the
Are there
cards.
more villagers than there are soldiers?
Hmm?
Are there more villagers than there are soldiers?
No, there was only maybe if you got all the villagers, including children.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Just wanted to see if we could start a crowd and a chant and then disappear. But
Not a terrible idea.
Most of the villagers that are kind of active in this area are
Like
active from they're kind of in there. Quite a lot of them have dripped back the mains, yeah. And some of the ones you can see are kind of watching all this go down from inside their houses and stuff like that, out the windows.
Maybe this is good. Maybe this is good publicity because they're stomping on who
they're
helped.
pressing us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can I ask why it's getting a little bit claustrophobic at this breakfast table?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you sure you don't see the troops that are surrounding and closing in due to the hand signals behind your back?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, I
It's
can't
interesting that you
count,
read that
but,
out of the situation.
I can't count, but I know people pretty well, and I also saw your hand go behind your back, and the troops aren't very good at disguising when they're looking at it.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Criv, I'm not entirely convinced you aren't who you say you are.
Why would that be?
A multitude of reasons.
Do you have bad experiences with adventuring parties?
I haven't had any good experiences.
Have you ever met an adventuring party before?
You're my first.
Like I said, we're happy to get these papers sorted out and get back on our way.
Well, if you'll just surrender your weapons for evidence, then we'll get on the
Evidence
road.
of
Yeah.
what?
Well, vigilantism without the appropriate papers is a crime.
Maybe you should publicize that the papers are needed more.
Perhaps you should check the laws.
You want me to start a We Are the Minds chat?
Yes.
Maybe Zorgar stand up and make a speech about how we help them and how they're oppressing us now.
God.
Help.
I don't know if that would necessarily help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking do it. We're in a bit of a sticky situation and there's no windows for me to jump out, so...
Or doors to kick.
I guess the worst thing that will happen is it'll start a fight.
Which is,
By the way, it would probably be abundantly clear to your characters that with this many soldiers, if it goes to a fight, you're not going to win. just the sheer numbers involved.
We've got means of
Yeah.
teleportation. We'll be fine.
Okay, so you want me to start a chant?
So what is your plan? You're trying to start a chant.
I guess I'm giving some kind of speech.
Rousing speech, how they're oppressing the little guy and oppressing the people who are helping the little guy.
I don't want to just get up on the table and be like, "Have you seen this? This is oppression."
I mean,
Because there's literally hundreds of soldiers in here.
well, they're
If
probably
I-
not want to kill civilians. That's why it's good to get them involved.
Can I start like a Chinese whispers chain?
The only people you can whisper to are everyone here and the soldiers. So you can.
What,
You just might not have the
Soldiers.
expected effect. This is oppression.
what do you want to do instead, Finn?
I don't know. I don't have an alternative, but I just feel like this might not help.
Simon says, "Hold your sword." That's not gonna work. I think that's gonna work. Hey, Jake, can I try and subtly, I don't know, behind some legs and things, do a little sending to wings? With
Sure,
Sending
yeah.
Stone? It's like, Eagle 1, please be on standby.
I am a storm crew. What?
Loud and clear, Eagle 1. Thank you very much. Over.
No wing dwarves.
How's the speech going? What did I miss?
The speech has not commenced. I don't know what to say in this speech.
Right, hold on. We're gonna have a little coaching session before we start.
I'll jump up on the table before him and start cutting shapes so he's confident, you know? He's ready.
Also, just a
again,
little kobold.
Yeah.
We could make a giant speech and then we could teleport somewhere else.
It's going to be-
teleporting. I feel like teleporting should be a last resort.
We're about to lose on 2 disguises, by the way. The family disguise and the Waves of Justice disguise.
Okay,
I
so
think it's
you're
just the amount of people we have is just a dead giveaway of who we are.
We need a big speech, at
rousing
least
speech.
as a
We need
good
a big
send off for
coat
these
and
people.
then
I can
everyone
also
stand on
do
your
a
shoulders.
little mass
Oh, you can stand on my
suggestion,
shoulder.
but
Sounds
like
good.
I need to speak in common for it to be
Can
a
you
thing.
whisper it?
I don't
So I'm
think we
not gonna-
should- Yeah, don't
Yeah,
think
I
we
would
should
need to
speak.
like go up to the captain and actually whisper it to him subtly for it to work. So I think the speech is like, if it starts going south after the speech, I will attempt it at least. If that doesn't work, then I will also, I don't know, I'll also start. I can do a little minor illusion to like get the chant going outside, even if there's no villagers around.
That's pretty
Ooh,
good.
I can maybe help with that. Smells up.
You can see Fish Guy is kind of like starting to like freak out. He's like, "What the fuck's going on?"
You have
Yeah,
fucked
we need
us,
He's
fish
trying to
guy, that's what's
separate
going on.
from you guys, and sort of.
Fish guy.
We need
Rousing speech.
you
I
gotta
don't
do
know what
it.
to say.
Just how we've helped these people, we've given them their minds back, and now we're being oppressed and arrested by
The
this
man.
these
Yeah, you're
people.
just basically just making a scene.
Yeah,
This
I
is
was
the
gonna
thanks
say,
we
you don't
get.
make a scene.
Just
Yes.
do the "We Are the Minds" thing again. I think I'm going.
Maybe don't just round it off with "We Are the Minds." That's the big
Okay.
finale.
Okay. Can I do this as a performance check? So
Yes, mate.
You can have +6.
Great. I don't know what I'm actually saying, but Sorgar gets up at the table and gives an extremely rousing speech.
Sure.
Is this a skill you're already proficient in?
I'm not
It's like
proficient, but I have +3,
Okay.
and I have +6 from Izzy as well.
I can only
So-
do things that you're proficient in, so never mind.
So I got a 26.
26.
Is there perhaps a +2 from assistance?
Sure,
I can
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
He's assistant.
Yeah, I'm
He's
Patrick
dancing
with
on the
his
table.
shapes.
Sure. So Zorgar, Rurak kind of tries to support Zorgar by, being a hype man, like being a little meat guy.
By the end, I'm gonna be like
Waves.
minor illusioning a
I
sound
don't
of
know,
like a rising chant from
Sure.
like
Justice.
yeah.
And Zorgar starts speaking, and he delivers this kind of quite, you're kind of expecting it, but you can't help kind of get caught up in it. He's like, this is atrocious. We're doing, we've done nothing but we've been nothing but good to you people. We rescued the mines, and this is how you repay us. This is shocking. And he delivers this speech, and you can start to see like townspeople kind of come out of their houses, and they're like, yeah, what's going on? What is this? What is this nonsense? Hey, we are the mines. They saved the mines. Yeah.
Says the
this
state of the country we
the
live in.
circle kind of starts to get like circled as well, and some townsfolk kind of push through the circle of soldiers, and they're like cheering things on and stuff. And kind of, you can see Karth and the soldiers are sort of mostly Karth. The soldiers are kind of a bit bewildered. Some of them are kind of caught up. And, yeah, this is a state. This is shocking. Why are we doing this? I didn't sign up for this. And
Signed up to help with it.
Zargar goes for a good 4 or 5 minutes. And the circle certainly doesn't shrink anymore. Some of the citizens kind of burst through and they're like, yeah, they cheer at the appropriate points. And they clap and stuff like that. Most of the soldiers are kind of just standing there listening, and you can see at the point when he finishes, they take up the chant. If that is doing minor illusion, then there's this otherworldly extra component to the chant.
Reverby.
And you can see kind of as Zorgar finishes, there's also the Luminar receptionist is back now. He kind of stumps over. He says, Captain Carr, what is the meaning of this? These are good people. These are, and starts hassling him. He's like,
Yes, you wonderful receptionist.
Carr kind of smiles. He says, kind of looks around. He says, you got to keep the soldiers entertained. And he kind of makes a hand gesture, and the circle starts to kind of dissipate. And all right, okay.
Get fucked, Captain Corn.
You can see he's kind of
Suck it.
hacked off. That it sort of seems like part of him, damn, that was a good speech actually.
Damn right.
Yeah, Zargar.
And also there's these kind of after as the circle starts to sort of it doesn't really they stay where they are, but it becomes less of a tight circle. You can see the soldiers kind of start talking to one another and things like that. And it kind of becomes more of a polygon in a circle. And also there's these the troop of soldiers that went away earlier. They come back. They're wearing these big dive helmets and stuff, and they've got a roll of leather tubing with them and stuff, and they kind of one comes over and takes off his helmet and says, Captain, we had a look in the mines. Can't see any problems down there. Couldn't find any evidence of the beast at all, actually. But yeah, it seems like it's safe. Seems all okay now. I think.
Start the chat.
And the citizens at that point are like, yeah, the miners, we have to go back to work now. And Karth kind of all right, okay, yeah, whatever, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, they do. You can see he's he listens to the report, but he's not really caring. And he kind of looks at all of you and the Luminar receptionist and says, right, well, it appears everything is resolved then. We'll be on our way. He kind of turns to Naren and the rest of you and says, make sure you get those papers looked at. He kind of...
Will do, Captain.
We're moving out! And the soldiers kind of like that. Oh, we just got here, alright, okay then. They kind of pack up and, they kind of get back into formation and they start to leave the village.
Christ.
I'm so surprised that didn't end in us running.
Do we speak to Fishman?
Fishman is still just hanging out.
Don't approach him. We should have him meet us outside of the village so other people
Well, he's
don't see
already
us.
eating breakfast with us, so isn't he? So he's like,
He's
awkwardly holding the
he's
sardine.
got a sardine. He's probably eating a sardine actually. He's just kind of like as the circle started closing in, he tried to kind of like separate from you guys and be like a third party. And so once the soldiers start leaving, he kind of comes over and says, he kind of points at disguised Raffen like immediately, and he's like, are you Master Raffen?
Shut up.
keep your voice down.
Sorry. Are you Master Raffen?
I am Master Raven.
I am Master Namonai. I received your message and have come to offer my aid. What is this danger of which you speak? Was it here on scale?
No, it's what would I want to say the moon, but what would I call it?
Well, I mean, there's the Citadel of the Moon. That'd probably be? It would either be, yeah, probably that.
Yeah, there's grave danger at the Citadel of the Moon. Master Silmare is there. We dealt with the problem that was there, but there's a great evil there that she needs help with.
I see. And
we weren't sure how many druids there were left. I thought I was maybe the last one, but I'm glad to see that there's somebody else.
Yes,
Do you know of any more?
I have always been more solitary. My dealings are below the waist. So this Citadel, then, how would I?
I was going to ask that. How did we? I can't Daisy Highway there, can I? No. So what was the arrangement, or were we going to contact Silmare? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. There is the portal in the Eldris that goes to the Citadel, which I think got left open.
Yeah, that's maybe the way to go, because I could Daisy Highway there and take him. Yeah, that's what I'll say. I'll say that I can take you via a portal in the Eldris.
I see. Yes, well, that would be. Yes, will the three of us be able to resolve it?
I think we need more. Was the Master Silmare's keeping on top of things while I came down and sorted out some business here in Scale, and we hoped round up as many of the circles as we could.
I see. What is the nature of this threat? What are we dealing with?
Fought Astrals that had taken over the Citadel of the Moon, and there was a great evil there that had corrupted the Astrals, and had turned them into beings that wanted to destroy all life. And while we've dealt with some of the Astrals that were there, some have escaped, and the evil still is there and needs capped or exorcised.
I see. Very well.
But it's going to take more than three of us to do that.
I see. Well, there are a few that yet a few in my domain that I believe are still active practitioners, but it will be might be somewhat difficult to contact them, but I will see what I can do.
Is it possible, like, with the stones, is it possible to get a stone to this druid so that he could contact me, or would we just do it through like the druid?
You kind of have your own built-in sending
Yeah,
stones.
that's
You can,
right,
yeah. The difficult thing might be that if he's underwater and you're above water, you need, like, I don't know,
Well,
a dolphin or something.
I have business here in Scale for this war, so perhaps if you could try and round up some of your brethren down there and contact me again here, I'll look for your sign.
Very well.
But we will be on this island for the coming few months, and then if we can round up some more druids, then maybe we'll have the numbers to go and sort this out at then.
I see.
But I'm grateful that you turned up. I wasn't sure that we would hear from anyone.
No, I'm sorry. The men on their ship, they were. I think I took them by surprise. They were not tremendously helpful with directions.
Okay.
Yes, I will go. I will see what I can do. I will.
Thank you. And it's great to meet another druid.
Likewise. You take an interesting form, but it is good to know that our order remains strong.
This is merely a disguise for the environs I find myself.
I see.
Undersea druids, that's pretty cool.
He's like, very well. You said you dealt with some of these astrals, the old masters. What happened to the remainder of them?
The remainders escaped.
Escaped to where?
I don't know. Or do I? No, I don't know. Do I?
I think this plane, right? Some came through this portal, potentially.
I see. Is this the war you're talking about?
No, the war is a different one.
See. Very well. This is a concerning development, but I will see. We'll see what I can do. Yes, I will return. Hopefully, with more. I'm sorry to have caused you trouble. That was not my intention.
Oh, no trouble caused that we can't get sorted.
He says, "Very well. I will take my leave then, and I will return when I have news. Of course, you may. I will keep a weather ear out for any messages from you. Should things take a turn for the worse, but I will see what I can do.
I will do the same. I will do the same. Jake, what was his name again?
He said his name was Master Namonai.
Namonai.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you, Master Namonai. Under better circumstances, I look forward to hearing about your undersea realm.
He smiles and he bows, and then he kind of his form shifts. He turns into a kind of seabird, an albatross maybe. Probably turns into an albatross and then flies off.
Cool.
The Luminar guy, the receptionist, is just like watching this. And he's like, doesn't say anything.
Look around before any of this.
Did he hear the conversation?
No, all of it. He definitely saw a fish guy turn into an albatross and fly away.
That'll do it.
We need to start, taking check of who's around when we're having these conversations.
Yeah, we're in the town square.
Why don't we not be in the town square?
Well, let's
Let's
talk
go
to
to
the
the secretary
Luminar
guy.
dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your assistance.
You're most welcome. I'm sorry, those brutes, the lot of them. He kind of points up to the albatross. He says, "You keep interesting company. You must be adventurers of great renown."
Oh,
This
we
is
are.
our first
Great,
time
yeah.
meeting him.
I see. Curious fellow.
Yeah, to be honest, we just pointed him in the direction after the druid he was looking for.
I see.
Heard tale he was somewhere in the north.
Very well. Yes. Well, yes, I believe they've finished their evaluation, and certainly seems like everything is as you say. And I believe the mines will be ready to open again. It's a great
Fantastic
boon.
news.
He kind of pulls out of his breast pocket, hands over this like sealed letter. It's stamped with the Luminar symbol. He says, "You can take this if you ever find yourself in the capital. Take this to the Glassworks." Is that what they call it? I'm not actually sure. He basically says, "Take this to the Luminar headquarters. It'll make sure you get something for what you've done here."
Thank you very much. This is too kind.
You're most welcome. Will you be staying long?
Just until after we meet with your boss, and then we'll probably be on our way.
Certainly. Yes, well, I mean, obviously, make yourself comfortable. I'll come and find you as soon as Laris arrives.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So, if you're just waiting for the Luminar boss to come by, we'll probably skip ahead to that. I'm gonna go for a wee first. So you're welcome to chat amongst yourself.
Urek, are you wanting to go back to the blacksmith? Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
it's seeming again.
Yeah.
Well,
just
okay,
on
if that makes a
you.
difference.
Yeah.
And then again to tell
I
him
can
back.
go alone though. Like
I
you,
don't know if I can do it that many times. Hold on, let me check how many slots I've got.
That was
I
a
can
fucking
probably
close
do it.
call.
That was a very close call.
Oh yeah.
But we made it.
We need things. We need papers. We need stories. And we need to ban words.
I
No,
have
we need
tons
to
of
support
stories.
the people. That's all we need, evidently.
Yeah.
Strength
maybe
in
do
numbers.
need-
Can't
we
believe
need
you need
so
a
many
license
forged
for
papers.
adventuring.
More importantly, what are we saying to the Luminar guy? Like, we should prep before.
Yeah.
I think just straight up the truth.
And I think so too. The Luminar guys don't seem to get along with the Legionaries, so I'll go, do you want these thugs around? Join up with us.
The only
As long as we're all on the
downside-
same page about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only downside to just straight up talking to him as us is that it ruins waves of justice. People will know the ways of justice is us.
Well, no, only he will unless he tells everyone, which is if the deal goes bad, basically.
So it has a chance of running out, which isn't the worst, but might not.
Also, secondly, should we not let the people, like our people, know that the army have taken off now and are probably going to be pretty determined to go and find them after what just happened here?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell them to do there.
Well,
Hide in the caves.
Already hid them in the forest, in the sanctuary, but there's a perimeter set up, so if the military gets close, they'll see, but they don't know where to move. There's a lot of them. I don't know where to move them.
So they're 8th Legion, right? They got your guys.
Mhm.
So there's no chance they can hide because the 8th Legion are coming from them. They recognize them as individuals, right?
Well, they can't
if they come across
hide
any of them.
in public, sure, but they can hide in a forest, which is what they're doing currently.
Yeah, but
is it a
they'll
good
have
idea
scouts.
to make them scatter?
Yeah.
I thought yes, so maybe they'd be in smaller groups, but then that's also easier for them to be taken out. Because if
What?
they're rolling in big legions like this, that's almost the size of our entire force, if not the same size. And they find one of the smaller groups, that smaller group is going to get stomped.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, do you think that the whole army together are going to survive against the 8th Legion or not? Because if
Yes.
how many people do you think would survive an encounter like that?
I think if our force went up against that legion, they'd have a good chance of winning. I'm confident they would win, but the thing is, it won't be just them. There'll also
do you mean?
There'll be the Drake boys will probably show up. They're not going to send units in one by one. As soon as they find us, they're going to send a larger force.
Also, best case scenario, you beat the 8th Legion and we've permanently pissed off the magic guys, because that's not what they wanted at all.
What's
But
the chances of
the
us?
8th Legion might be helpful because there's a connection to our side. So there might be a good portion of the 8th Legion that we can convert.
Yeah. How many of them do you think you can recruit? If we can stop them, surround them on the road whilst they're, not exactly prepared, then maybe you can challenge the head as Naren and offer anyone that wants to change sides that opportunity, and anyone
How
else.
do we stop that from turning into a full-on battle then?
Well, if we just go on just as us, as a group, and do what Patrick suggested, then we can just run away if it goes tits up. But otherwise, just make a big speech, and best case, it stalls them for a little bit.
They're not gonna, I don't think anyone's going to convert though, unless they're like, life or death situation. So
I think some of them could, especially with Zorgar's speeches.
It's more about converting a mass as opposed to a few. If you convert a few, they're not going to have the balls to convert because they're surrounded by
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you need the majority of them to sway. But that doesn't necessarily mean surrounding them, because that'll just turn into a fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. For now, I think Rurak is wanting to go back to the blacksmith as the deaf child.
Tempton.
Tempton, yeah.
Yella, did you have any spells left for that?
Yes, I do. It just taps me of all my high-level stuff.
No.
But I can do it.
If that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Secondly, we can leave it for a wee bit, but at some point we're gonna have to make a decision on what we're doing about the 8th Legion marching towards our people, because otherwise it's just gonna be a confrontation over there, and our people are probably gonna lose.
Like I said, I'm not sure if they'll lose, but it won't be good. And also, I think we have a little bit of time, because they mentioned Jukali Harbour, so I think they'll go into Jukali Harbour and then work their way up. But
I'm just concerned if it turned into a battle, then it wouldn't look good even if we won.
No.
Is there another place nearby we can evacuate them? Is there a mine that is empty that we can?
According to my scouts, there is nothing far enough away, because, of course, if they just move a few hours away, the Legion still got stomped through there.
Well, they're a lot faster because there's less of them, surely. Or if you make them go in smaller groups, you could just outpace them, and then they'd never find them.
The mountains?
Yeah, pretty much.
The problem is that they have scouts on the back of fucking flying things.
Yeah, but that's why we're hitting the forest with cover from above.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, is they can't be scouted in the forest right now, but there's people on foot about to march through everywhere. So the idea is you would want to move your people, but if you move your people, there's flying fuckers. It's that kind of thing. Scattering them is an option, but like you said, it's if any of them are caught on their own. I could also make sending stones to connect all the groups so they could communicate to each other. To be if they see any people coming, but
splitting into smaller groups raises or lowers the chance of them getting found, but if they do get found, there's a higher price to pay, because there's no chance they win. Sorry, what were you going to say?
So I was just thinking that I think me and Hrafen could probably take out their scouts. Hrafen is a giant eagle, me on the back of wings, and we could take out their scouts, and that gives you an opportunity to move the troops.
Maybe. Let's speak to Clan Luminar first, and then figure out how long it's got to take us down to get down to Clan Balin.
About a day.
A day. And
You're
how
out of
long
the
did it
mountain,
take us to trek across?
3, I think.
They're a larger force, so it'll take longer, right?
Yeah. Also, you had Zarzan with you, and Zarzan. So like it took 3, but it probably shouldn't have taken 3, because, but you stopped at villages and stuff, so maybe like, you know, it can line up. If you weren't stopping at villages, you would be faster than them significantly because you're a smaller force, and also you have Zarzan who lets you who knows the best ways to traverse through terrain, stuff like that, so you don't suffer any penalties.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's just go talk to Luminar Man then.
Lida, I'm gonna catch you and go to Alley, if that's cool. For seeming.
We need to all be together when I do it because it'll drop
Cool.
and read it on for everyone.
Can we all go somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Into the alley. Just turn me. Just turn me into one and I'll go alone. Thank you. See you later.
There you go.
Jacob's gonna walk into the blacksmith.
Sure,
Kind of-
she's hammering away.
Knock. Give her the sign language thing that she taught me, and then can I just walk towards the forge and start working?
Sure, yeah. She's kind of surprised. She's like, "Wow, look at that work ethic! What a great young lad." But yeah, she'll help you out.
Meanwhile, it's a 150-year-old man.
I want to be very persistent about learning dragon glass, but that's it.
Yeah, she'll. So what you were making something, right?
I was making her like a.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was making her a shovel out of steel, I guess.
Sure.
At first, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as a thank you for teaching, and then I'll learn dragon glass.
Okay, yeah. Yes, you got a couple hours before the Luminar guy comes back that you're waiting for. So yeah, you're able to, you already know how to smith stuff. You're able to, get onto some dragon glass. You kind of get some experience working with it. Give us a smith's tools check.
Oh, how do you do that?
Well, that's a good point. I don't know if you can roll tools on this. Just give us
I actually don't have it in my inventory.
I think we were using like. Oh, you can probably just give us a wisdom check, right?
Yeah, wisdom check.
So that you're proficient in.
Ability check. Normal. Oh no. Oh, I rolled a 2.
2.
That's bad.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do I
So
have
you
any inspirations?
probably yeah.
Can I burn one?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you
cool.
guys probably all have an inspiration after that Garth encounter.
Oh, sweet.
So you can
5. Nice.
10.
10. Yeah, you have a thoroughly middling experience. It's been quite a long time since you've worked with something this different. It's kind of like you're having to almost start over again in a lot of respects. Like it's a very different material to work with. So you kind of you get a lot of experience with it, and you get a better handle of it on how it works and stuff. But you kind of come out of it with like a kind of a blob, like whatever you're trying to make, you sort of make it, like it kind of resembles that. If you're like, oh, it's this. If you tell someone that, they're like, oh yeah, I see that, I guess. But it's not like a finished like high quality thing. Like it would probably require more.
Okay, cool.
But you got a bit of experience working with it.
One last thing. Did I learn any new sign words in Draconic?
Yeah. What do you already know?
Temper.
Temper. Yeah, you probably learned some. You can kind of intuit some basic ones. You're pretty confident you know the word for like hello.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you know hammer, and you know forge or anvil. You're not entirely sure which is which. Like you're not entirely sure which one it is.
Forge. Okay, cool. Right. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Otherwise, you guys are just waiting for the Luminar guy. Is that right? Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I take you guys go back to the tavern or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like wherever you go, a couple hours go by, and then the Luminar receptionist guy comes back. He's like, Laris has returned. I think he'd be interested in speaking to you at your earliest convenience.
Okay. Is Rurak returned yet, or do we have to go fetch Rurak?
Rurak wouldn't have been told that the Luminar guy is back yet, so he's probably still at this minute.
Let's go fetch Rurak, I guess, in case we have to make a quick exit.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say just leave him there.
I'm just scared that the Luminar person might not be the happiest to see us. I don't know.
Sure. So you guys are going along to the night?
Mhm.
Okay. So you're currently disguised as
Yeah,
Waves of Justice. And Rurak is disguised as Tempting Krivkax.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use the sanding stone and be like, Rurak, can you come meet us, please? The dude's back.
Okay, that works.
Using the brain.
Sure, okay, well. I mean, Patrick's not here right now, but presumably he'll come along. So you guys head down to the Luminar office, and the receptionist guy leads you in, and there's just this, like, normal dude there. He's got white scales. He's wearing pretty nice clothes, but he just kind of looks like a regular, everyday Joe Schmo. And kind of looks at you and says, "Are you the Avengers?
That we are.
I heard you dealt with the Death Breather. Is that right?"
Yeah, that is correct.
Ah, he
Are we
kind
in,
of
like,
goes to
his
shake everyone's
office?
hand. He says, "Well, that's quite a load off. That's I'm very grateful to you. I heard you had some trouble with Caldrath.
They weren't the happiest to see us.
Well, they never are.
Are we in this person's office?
Yeah.
By ourselves?
Yeah. Well, the receptionist
Just
guy's
awesome.
here as well.
Okay, that's fine. So you're the head of Clan Luminar?
No, I'm in the head of the office here, obviously, but no, I'm just Lawrence.
What?
He kind of looks at the receptionist. He's like, "Did some wires get crossed or something?"
I think so. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Happy to be of service.
Well, I'm very grateful. I believe you've already been given a letter of recommendation.
We have. That's very kind of you.
Yes, well, you can take that to the real Icon, or Icons, and I'm sure they'll be. They might be. I don't know. They might be interested to speak to you. Certainly won't make them less interested to speak to you.
Okay. Well, it's been lovely meeting you. Just
Yes, you
wanted
too.
to meet you in person. Spread our name about, and we'll be off to see where the road takes us.
All right. Well, I mean, you'll always have a. Hopefully, we'll see you again. Thanks.
If you have any other issues, don't hesitate to get in contact.
Where are you based? Do you have a postal address?
I'm afraid not. You'll just have to put the word out, but we'll get it.
The receptionist nods. Yeah. These are big deal. He's like, all right, okay, well, yeah, I'll bear that in mind. Yeah, thanks again. Hopefully see you around.
Lovely meeting you. I'm very glad I clarified beforehand because I was about to give him the whole spiel.
Seems nice enough.
Where did anyone else in the party know that? Was I just being a fool?
Me.
Um,
Does kind of make sense, I guess. Here's rolling dice. What's going on?
Yes, what is your guys' plan?
I guess we need to start heading to Clan Balin, or Balin Estate, while figuring out what we're doing about the Legion.
Sure. So it's about like
Multitasking.
It's about like 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Because the Legion front up pretty early on. So you still got plenty of time to make headway today. You could probably get there like tonight. It might be kind of late, or you could have a more relaxed walk, break overnight, and get there in the morning. It's up to you.
You work out what we're doing with the army, surely.
Yeah, we're doing that while walking. Multitask. Because it'll take us a day to get down there. We travel faster than them, plus we can teleport, so...
Yeah, we can always teleport back if we need to.
That's
right.
So we might as well head off.
I'd say try and just regular pace it so we arrive at the evening, as opposed to the next morning.
Sure.
So we save more time.
Let me just double check the map, see how far away it is. It's a handy dandy measuring ruler.
You can only use the stone once a day, right?
Yeah. It's about 6 hours away. So you could get there late dinner time.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I need to talk to Baylights again. But I guess
You can just tell me and I can sending him.
It's a bit of a conversation though. It's like asking him how likely he thinks it will be to sway a majority of the 8th Legion.
By sending Balax, how likely do you think it would be to sway a majority of the 8th Legion to join our side?
And what he knows about their leader. If you
And what do you know about their leader? From Naren.
Have his food.
He says,
XOXO.
difficult probably, I already tried.
Difficult probably, he already tried.
How hard did you try that?
How hard did you try?
How many times can you do this a day?
I don't know.
Quite hard, as
hard
as I could.
He says quite hard as he could.
I mean,
did he answer how
it was persuasive. I got about half of them.
Oh, you got about half of them. What did he say about what he knew about the leader or whatever?
No.
Oh, they definitely.
Naren's gonna be persistent so that Balax knows that he's onto him. Be like, so, that leader.
Oh, that leader you keep avoiding the question about.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but I did.
You send a follow-up message being like, sorry, bad translator.
No.
He doesn't reply.
What?
He left me on red!
Balax,
There's another one being like, we know you're there.
Balax, this is your commanding officer.
You've gone above his head.
I hate to pull this card, but not only am I your friend, I'm your commanding officer.
Your commanding
Balax,
officer
I'm your friend and
is
your commanding officer.
Your commanding officer is commanding you to tell us what you know about this man.
Squeeze in the
No
friend
reply.
stuff.
But also, he admits that you guys are also friends.
No reply.
He's still patching us.
Just say please.
What else is happening with Balax?
Say please, he might reply then.
How many sentences do you have left, Emma?
We used 1, 2, 3. How many have we done? Like 5?
Something like that, 4 or 5, yeah.
4.
I can fit in 1 more.
Say please.
No, hit up Sargon. We're going behind his back now.
Okay, what do you want me to say, Sargon? Because I can only say one thing.
Sargon, I'm sorry, but I'm approaching you as your commanding officer. Balax is not telling me about... I'm gonna set his name. Captain Crack. Captain Crack.
Car. Or
Captain Crack.
What do you know of him?
who am I sending?
Sargon.
Sargon.
You spent weeks with him on the moon. You should know everyone.
Sargon, your commanding officer is commanding you to tell us about Captain Karth because Mr. Captain Balax will tell us. And
Also, maybe don't tell Balax that you've given us this information.
And don't tell Balax you've given us this information from Naren. XOXO.
So like there's a limit on the word, so I think probably like the last like quarter of that gets cut off. So it's like also Balax did, and then and you get one back going. Karth was Balax's nephew.
Oh,
damn it, Balax!
It was his son, but not his son. His brother or sister's son.
Yeah, he didn't agree with Balax, so they didn't really leave on particularly good terms. What was the end bit? I didn't get most of that.
I can't reply.
Oh no! Shit! He's got to tell Balax now.
So that's like most of my spells burned through, so I'm kind of spent for the rest of the day.
Let's hope we don't get in a fight when we arrive at Balin
Well,
Estate.
yeah, I'll be fucking useless. I've got some fireballs in the reserve, that's about it.
An improvised weapon.
Right, so Balax's nephew is marching a legion over to our legion, or our entire army. Balax has already tried to sway them and failed. We can't kill them.
I've drunk too much water.
Jake drunk too much water. What the?
I don't really know how to resolve this.
Lots of troubles, Matt.
I guess I want to give them like a big speech to give them a chance to join us. So I guess
Braveheart up.
if we can deal with Balin quickly, we can cut them off before they exit the hills on the other side. And then try and have a conversation that we can hopefully flee from. And then take it from there, maybe? Because that should still leave enough time that if we need the army to disperse from the forest, they should have enough time. We should still have a couple days.
I'm fine to try and convince some of them to join us. I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
But granted, we should keep in mind the fact that Balax did try and convince all these people before and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's different now?
My suggestion, that's what's different.
That only works on up to like 12 people.
And also, we don't want to win over this country just by mass persuading a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also got it.
I'm gonna get some water.
The cycle completes itself.
Fade into the dark.
And she faded into black.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is going well.
I'm not too clued in on what's really happening, honestly. But
We're going to speak to the leader of Clan Balin to try and convince him to join us. And then we're going to try and cut off the 8th Legion before they reach our 8th Legion to try and sway them.
What is Clan Balin again? What are they in charge of? I don't remember what they're in charge of.
Balin, food, agriculture, infrastructure, important to economy, war, headquarters, outside capital, food, agriculture, infrastructure.
Important dudes then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Hey.
That's him away.
So much darkness. How does he stay in the dark like that?
I don't
It's
know.
pitch
I don't
black
know.
in her room.
Why doesn't she have some freaking lights?
She had a problem with her ceiling light before, but I thought she'd fix it. Maybe it's back.
She could get a lamp.
Yeah.
Nice lamp.
Sure, there's a lamp in her house somewhere she can nick for her room.
You would. She was using her lightsaber for a bit.
That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a long-term solution.
Not really.
Gonna run out of batteries.
Yeah. Did I miss anything?
Not really.
Okay. It does work.
Why was she sitting in the dark then?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
We have M&M's.
Whoa.
I found them upstairs.
Oh. I've been gifted snacks.
Nice.
What a great
Snacks.
gift.
So are you guys doing anything else on your way to Balin Estate? Any other
Uh,
chat forthcoming?
Duolingo by Zorgar.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'll teach.
Group study.
Sure. Yeah, we don't have to make any rules or anything. You guys, you get more of a handle on things. You've heard some, you're getting kind of more immersed in the Dragonborn language and stuff like that as well. So it's not like, you're picking, you're like, you can kind of, you can kind of cobble together sentences like sort of like National Forge Draconic kind of level. You can go like, that is a big dog. My favorite color is blue.
Big.
Yeah, you still have to do your
I
added
have-
value unit.
A pencil case.
A jotter.
You work at
My
the
favorite
library?
sport is hockey. Stuff like
Where
that.
is the train station?
Yeah.
My hovercraft
I have
is
horses.
I've
ideal.
been to the library.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Draconic.
Do you speak common?
Can we have this conversation in common? Yeah, useful phrases like that. Table for 4, please.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you can count to 10. Yeah, otherwise, if there's nothing else forthcoming, you guys kind of roll up to what is presumably Balin Estate. Kind of late evening, it's starting to get dark. If it's not already kind of dark, because it's like 7 p.m. in the middle of winter. You can see there is this basically this road leads you up through this pair of this big gate. You kind of go through an orchard. You can see it's like probably a scale specific fruit. Like I don't know, do pomegranates grow on trees? Where do you grow pomegranates? They probably grow them here. And like oranges and stuff like that. Kind of all that stuff. And there's this big mansion that you kind of approach. You can see in the distance there's like a gatehouse that you kind of reach before then. And there's a guy in the gatehouse who kind of like sees you coming and is like kind of comes out and says, "Can I help you?"
Or we're disguised.
Yeah.
Hope with this dice, there's waves of justice.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because we set off from like we said we were setting off as waves of justice, so we'd be traveling as waves of justice.
I'll follow from the woods, I guess. as a lone dragonborn child.
You're not a dragonborn child.
What?
I'm not Waves of Justice though.
Yeah, he's tempting.
I'm tempting right now.
Oh shit!
Well, they don't know
They
he's
don't
not
know
with
that.
us.
Yeah, just act more
That's true.
malicious.
I mean, I don't
You
think
could
we've
just be-
established this, so I'm going to establish it now if that's okay. I'm a blue dragonborn and a blue kobold, and since I'm a child dragonborn, maybe we can get away with it. So
Maybe we're escorting you somewhere as an adventuring party.
yeah,
If they
sure.
ask questions, we'll deal with it then.
All right, cool. Well, I'll be hanging out in the crowd then,
For now,
in the middle of the crowd.
we'd like to talk to the leader of Clan Balin.
The Iakim? What business have you with him? Have you an appointment?
I'm afraid not, no.
Ah, well, he's only recently returned and probably not in the mood for guests, I should imagine. I'm sorry, I'll have to ask you to move on.
I'm
Sorry,
afraid-
If they have any problems they need dealt with.
We're a local adventuring party. Are there any troubles?
As soon as you say we're a local
Something?
adventuring party, you see his...
Tell them we dealt with the snake in Luminar place.
We dealt with the snake in the Luminar mines.
That's brilliant. I'll have to ask you to move on.
Okay, but we
Anything
should
you need
return
done.
tomorrow morning because, believe me, your clan leader will be
I'm
very
still
annoyed
gonna
if
have
you do
to
not.
ask you to move on tomorrow morning, probably.
Is your shift end? Are you working tomorrow?
He kind of crosses his arms. He's like, "Look, pal, I asked you nicely."
Like we said, we just want to help. Got
That's
any
excellent.
work?
Go help somewhere else.
Got any work? We'll do it.
All right, see you tomorrow morning. We'll be back in the morning. We'll
I
let your
look
boss
forward
get some
to it.
rest. Want to catch him after he's fully rested and in a good mood. But are you or are you not on shift tomorrow morning?
He shuts the. He's got like a little box. He shuts the door of the box.
Does that have shifts listed on it?
Nope.
But yeah, as we're walking away, we now have two options. We can either sneak in to speak to him anyway, or we actually wait till the morning and hope we get in.
Well, we're gonna have to wait until the morning for Lydia to get her magic juice back, so I'd say wait.
That's true. Let's go camp
Also, what's the
somewhere.
plan of getting in? Like from this dude? Like why wasn't he letting us in? Because the dude was
We don't have an
tired.
appointment and he's tired and we're an adventuring party that he can't be bothered
Oh,
with.
can you I was gonna tap on the door, but can you tap on the door and ask for an appointment?
Sure. I return like a minute later.
Go away.
Hang on. I put my foot to jam the door open. Can I? You said we can't see him without an appointment. Can we book an appointment?
No. He tries to
Why
shut.
not? Look, I think we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm Quiv. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kriv.
What's your name?
None of your business.
I'd like-
I'm gonna have to ask you to move on.
Can I book an appointment?
What's it about?
It's a matter of national security.
I don't believe you.
It doesn't matter if you believe me, it's whether your boss believes me.
You want me to go and speak to the Iakim and ask if you would like an appointment with the people who killed the Luminar snake and have a matter of national security?
Can I see from when we witnessed them at the meeting?
Yeah. Mhm.
Was there anything on the table that I could give as like note?
How do you mean?
Something that I could like call out. I don't know. Like, was he eating a nice scone? Be like, did you enjoy that scone in Town Call?
He had a walking
Just to
stick
call back.
with a carved dragon's head next to him.
Is that something he walks around with everywhere then?
How would you know?
Is this the guy we talked to in
I'll just say it's a follow-up to the meeting that he had in Carantol. I saw his walking stick. Come on, it must be slightly unknown news that he was in a meeting in Carantol.
You're a piece of work. And he kind of comes
you
out
give
his
him a
box.
message?
He shuts the door to the box. He locks it. So he kind of looks at you and he goes up to there's like the main gates and then there's like a little gate and he opens that gate.
Speak to him in the morning.
Comes through
Just
and
want an
shuts it.
appointment.
I'll go and wait there. And he goes away. How long are you
Estering
gonna wait?
our way to success.
It's better than killing our way to success like we do in the past. Oh, we can't have an appointment? Stab!
Get it down.
How long are we waiting?
Yeah, how long are you gonna wait? Like, is there a point?
Fucking night.
As long as it takes.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's about half an hour later. He comes back. He says,
Yeah, I thought so.
he'll speak to you for 5 minutes in the morning, at dawn.
See? What did I say to you? Yeah, you'd want to see us.
For 5 minutes. He's very clear, but 5 minutes, no more.
See you in the morning. What's your name?
He opens his box and goes back in the box and shuts it. And you see
Good night's sleep.
Matt, do they have a name at the reception desk?
Hello, my name is.
Do they?
Or a name badge?
Do they have a name badge?
What's your name? Timothy.
Yeah, there's a name badge.
Yes.
It says Karen on it.
Ricky.
It says what?
Karen.
Oh, I thought you said Karen.
No, the T.
See you in the morning, Taryn.
See you later,
Good night's
Karen.
Sleep.
Yep.
See you at dawn, Karen.
I guess let's go set up camp.
Also, I'm guessing if this dude is telling his staff that he doesn't want to see anyone until he's had his rest, and his staff is that grumpy, I'm going to assume he's just as grumpy.
Maybe. But he's also the lead of agriculture, so he can't be that much of an ass, surely.
He likes wheat. How bad could he be?
Man loves crops. Must be a good dude.
It's a mellow life.
Sure. So you guys just wait until dawn.
Camp
Yeah.
out and sleep, yeah.
Do more Duolingo.
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's just like a time lapse sunset sunrise thing happens.
That was fast.
And as the sun spreads its little warm tendrils across the land, you awaken. Where are you camping?
I imagine.
Is there a nearby tree line?
Like there's gates that you walk through that seem to get into the estate, and then there was a secondary gate which kind of blocked you to get to the mansion. But in between that bit is an orchard. So are you gonna camp inside the estate, or are you gonna go outside the estate?
Probably
outside.
Yeah, it seems that rude.
Don't want to mess up their orchard.
Sure.
They're expensive.
Pomegranates or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, you're able to find someplace nice to
I think it'd be dragon fruit.
pitch your camp, and you wake up kind of as dawn is happening.
Roll out troops, we gotta go, we can't be late, otherwise they'll fucking kick us out.
Nice to see you, Taryn. Do we want to quickly get on the same page as to what we're doing?
What are we doing?
Or
Telling the
just
truth.
like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Markax. You may have heard of me. Or
Yes,
we,
hopefully it's a more private meeting.
hopefully it's a more private meeting. We also need a means of escape if things go south.
Well, there's plenty of trees outside, but I don't know about inside.
Are you guys disguised?
Yeah.
Yes.
I imagine so. Is the adventuring party again?
Sure.
Means of escape, Leggett, I guess. I doubt they have many soldiers.
They're far.
I feel like we're probably fairly well armed going into this.
Yeah, I just don't want to fight and kill a bunch of people on the way out.
No, but I think we'll be able to outrun them as well.
So we don't need to kill
Okay.
anybody if we're fighting.
And again, we have last-ditch teleportation as well, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, let's go for it. Go and knock on Taryn's door.
Kind of opens it. He's
Is
like,
it Taryn?
yeah, it's Taryn. Yeah.
Hey, Taryn.
You've been on shift all night.
I work nights.
It's the morning though.
Oh, I'm on the night shift.
Well, I work. Look, you missed him. He's out in the orchard.
Oh, well then if he's just in the orchard, we'll speak to him in the orchard.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, he said be here at dawn, and you kind of
This
missed
is
him.
dawn.
He was here
Dawn's after.
at dawn, though, and you're during dawn.
He's a farmer. We have to go.
Thanks, Taryn.
I'll take you down. He won't be pleased though.
Oh, we're not pleased either.
And he opens, the door, shuts the door of the box, and locks the door at the box. He's like, right, I think he's this way.
We should get something nice for Taryn.
Leads you down
Seems
into the
fair.
orchard. After about 5 minutes of walking, you can see two figures. There is you can see, like, he kind of leads you down towards this tree. You can see there is a ladder kind of propped up against the tree. There is a basket at the foot of the tree, and there are fruits being like dropped from somewhere inside the tree into the basket. And there is this dragonborn kind of standing at the foot of the ladder looking up. They are armed. They have like a sword. They're kind of rubbing sleep out of their eyes.
Maybe we should offer them help. That might
Yeah.
make them like us.
First, let's make. Is he alone?
So there's clearly someone in the tree, and there's also this person at the foot of the ladder, kind of looking up into the tree, watching this happen.
I assume the person in the tree is the man we're looking for.
I'm just trying to see. Yeah. Taryn leads you down, and shouts, "Sir, the adventurers," and the armed scaler kind of like looks at you, and turns, and there's this voice from the tree says, "They're late!" And then there's like a pomegranate falls into the basket.
Sorry, we're late. We were unclear on what at dawn meant. At dawn meant. 'Cause,
At dawn.
It is dawn,
kinda-
though, is it not?
There's this kind of there's this like kind of this figure emerges from the branches of the trees. This like really like hunchbacked dragonborn. They got brass scales and kind of like gnarled fingers, and they kind of like start kind of coming down the ladder. And you can see there's a stick, like just a regular stick, propped up against the bottom of the ladder, and they kind of pull it and kind of lean on it and turn, and it says, "Who are you?" I was told it was a matter of national security. Why you'd come to me with that, I'm not sure.
Well, while we discussed, do you need any help with gathering your fruit?
Well, do you know what you're doing?
Myself, no, but I think some of my party do.
Kind of looks around.
Raffles maybe knows what they do.
Oh yeah, Raffin could know.
He says, well, there's only one ladder, but you can help out if you want.
Oh, so can I go on someone's shoulders?
I can lift you onto my shoulders.
Yeah, I'll start picking pomegranates down.
Can I be in the catching crew?
Sure, yeah.
Kind of like
They're
Hobbit
assisting in the
style.
background.
Yeah, you kind of like you can see him like as you guys are going and starting picking things. He's kind of like watching you, and kind of like you can see him kind of like judging you. And he kind of leans on his stick. He says, "So what exactly? I'm busy. I don't have time for."
National security may have been a bit of a stretch, but from here on, we're going to be honest with you. Do you speak common?
Yes.
I'm going to say in common to Litter, can you drop the seeming, please?
In front of there's other people here, are you sure?
Only two other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Aye, okay. I drop it.
I am Naren Markex. This is my brother Zorgar Markex.
Hello.
Howdy. He kind of the seeming drops and he's like, "Our arm's a weird trick. I'm like, what's the point of that?" And then you're like, I am such and such, and this is such and such, and he's like, right, okay. And then he notices Sora, and then he he kind of like drops his stick and kind of like. You might have given me some warning.
We were concealing our identity for.
I can see that. You should have concealed it a little longer. There are things here everywhere. Quick.
Do you want me to put it back up? I can put it back up.
Yes.
Has he seen the golden scale yet?
No, he didn't notice that. Already he did. But it's like he says, "Well, let's talk inside the house. Come on. You should have led with that."
I thought I wanted the dramatic appearance of our appearance.
He looks at Sora, and then he clocks you on the head with his stick. He points his order and says, "You carry the basket."
Okay.
And he starts like kind of leading you towards the mansion. Taryn is just there like, "Do I?
It's a nice place you
I'll
got
just
here.
I'll just go back to my box."
Thank you,
He walks off.
Darren.
Back, Darren.
Cheers, Darren.
Yeah. So are you just following Mr. Balin back to the house?
Alright.
Yeah.
Back to his gaff.
Sure. Yeah, he's quite sprightly for an old man. Actually, he walks pretty quick.
How old is he?
With the alarm news, he's
It's difficult to tell. He's probably
Is
like
he
60 or
quite
70.
elderly?
Quite
got
elderly.
his
Yeah.
horns.
Big horns.
Yeah, his horns are pretty big. I'm not sure what their shape they are. They're probably not shaped in any particular way. They're just regular horns, but they are quite long. They're
They're not like quite wild or anything?
the sort of horns you're like you saw them in the tree and you're like, I'm surprised. Those horns ought to cause them a bit of trouble up there. With all the branches and stuff, get tangled onto it easily. But yeah, he kind of leads you back towards the house. You can see the other scaler with the sword is kind of like kind of bringing up the rear and like is shanking around quite a lot. Doesn't say anything. But yeah, otherwise, are you just following back to the house?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So you guys, you're able to keep up with him. Fine. But it's you have to walk a little faster than you'd expected. And he kind of he leads up to this big mansion. It's made of bricks and things like that. You can see it's got a brass shingled roof made of glass. Big like 2-wing, 3-wing, maybe a fair multiple floors, like big like manor house. He leads you up the steps into it and opens the door and come on quick. He shuts the door behind you and says, starts leading you through. He turns to the scaler with his sword and says, "That'll be all." And she's just like, "If you say so, are you sure? Are you certain this is?" And I'm quite certain. And he kind of turns and carries on leading you, and eventually takes you into this like upstairs and into this like little office room. Anyways, he's like, "Quick, in you come, in you come." Shuts the door behind you and says, "Were you followed here?
I don't believe so.
Does anyone else know who you are?"
Other than the couple people you just saw in the field. Also fairly sure my mum knows who I am. My foster dad.
There is a chance that Affliction might know who we are, to be fair.
Oh, we've had suspicions, yes.
I see. He kind of kind of crosses to the desk, he crosses to the seat at the back and kind of like slumps into it. Kind of looks at you all, and he looks at Zora and says, I thought we all thought you threw yourself from the window." She says, "Well, I did, but still made it." Where were you all this time?"
Like mother, like son.
"Tires." "Tires." And he kind of looks at Aaron Zora and says, "So you must be the hatchlings."
That
can
will
see
be
that.
us.
He kind of extends a hand, tries to shake. He says, "It's a pleasure to meet you both. Ormac Balin, I knew your father. Couldn't always
I
agree.
must say,
He was a good man."
I'm surprised by the warm welcome.
"Well, look, it's not... I mean... situations demand certain... Why are you here?"
I think you know why we're here. We've come seeking your allegiance.
"My elite... What?
Aaron, he's a farmer.
We have come to dethrone Balasar. However, we do not intend for any of the people of Scale to suffer from this, and we hope to bring the war with the mainland to a close once Balasar is dealt with.
I see. And you want my help?"
Just your support, yes.
"And you know who we are. We're not soldiers, we're farmers. Masons. What military
Yes.
forces we have are pitiful. Caravan guards."
Who feeds the
not
soldiers, though?
Listen, before we go any further, I need you to promise me that anything that happens in this room does not leave here. It says
Agreed.
Vexir spies are everywhere.
We've
Well,
already
hope-
had discussions with other council members.
Who have you already
Their
spoken to?
discretion is being kept. I'm sorry, but you don't want people to know about this conversation. We can't let you know about the conversation with other council members. But there is one who is keen to join us, providing we prove ourselves.
I see. Well, I'm afraid I am in a somewhat similar position. I cannot do what you ask. If I was to ally Clan Balin with you, then our people would be exterminated.
I understand. I'm more asking for, when Valasai is dethroned, that you will stand by our side.
Yes, well, I certainly... I would wish to see Valasar back. You would have my support if you were to do so.
We're discussing this all in common, right?
Yeah. Like if he'll discuss it in whatever language you're speaking in. So if you're speaking in common, he'll speak in common.
Perhaps ask what issues you actually have with Balasar.
He is a kind of looks at Sora and sort of like shrugs. He says, he is a he has caused unsettling wind to blow in the palace. There is a new generation of Ayakins who do not stand for what me and your father did. He is selfish. He is dangerous.
Do you know who else also shares this opinion?
Aliroth might. I suspect so. The rest of them, Balasar has them in his pocket.
Which one's Aliroth again? Where's our notes?
Aliroth.
Which clan does he lead? May I ask?
Orn.
Oh, convenient.
We were. I was good friends with a member of House Orn.
Yes, Orn and Mark X, their allegiances ran deep when clans still allied with one another.
And which clans are most within Balasar's control? Which ones is there no hope?
Vexir, Keldrath, Rakesh, Suros, almost all of them.
Especially all the military house or clans.
Your brother has orchestrated things so that, he pulled strings to get them where they are now. Most of them. And he bought their allegiances by doing so.
Not yours?
My position is not due to your brother.
I'm surprised he hasn't replaced you there.
He's tried. It's only a matter of time. That's why I need you to promise that none of this gets out of here. Ashek and the others are just looking for an excuse. Ilar would love to absorb my portfolio, I'm sure.
Perhaps some of us should go and take a scan of the estate looking for some spies. Because I don't think we've been careful enough.
Yeah, probably not.
You can see, like, whenever he mentions Vexir, you see him, like, kind of, like, shoot a glance at Zarzan, even though Zarzan's disguised.
We've been hunted by the Vexia a couple times.
Yes, they're dangerous.
I have to admit, though, we've never managed to notice them sneak up on us, so I hate to say there may be a chance that they saw us come here.
Can I try an orrery thing again?
Sure, yeah. What are you trying to order?
Could try where we followed.
No, it has to be a course of action you take, which is I have to figure out how to word that. Would it be a good outcome if we went looking for spies?
Wheel and woe.
God damn it!
Every time.
Well, I'm gonna take that, and we should probably do that anyway. I'll go and someone else.
Yeah, Graffin's probably a good shout to
Yep.
be an animal, keen eyes.
Mhm.
Anyone that can like fly around unnoticed basically is a good idea. Anyone with good
really high up.
eyesight and tracking.
I can cast invisibility on myself, so I'll go. Just have a snoop around.
Vexia all green scaled.
Well, the green fangs are. Fangs here aren't stupid enough to spy on me with one so obviously in their company. If there are spies here, they will have been planted within my household for months, if not years.
Well, we do have a cleric that can get people to tell the truth. So if you want,
have to round up everyone.
Ooh!
you want a little flush out of spies in your court, well, we can organize it.
Perhaps it would be certainly peace of mind.
And perhaps, for, a favor, you could do something in return one day. I don't know what.
Let's just start with, do you know of anything that we could do to win over the people?
I'm not certain it's the people you would need to win over. Certainly they would help, but
Well, who do we need to?
will you be in Karan Tol for for Kaldai?
Does Kaldai?
It is the end of your. It's basically like Dragonborn Christmas.
Nice.
It's called the Days of Fire, and basically it's a holiday, and it's usually celebrated everywhere, but there's usually a big event in the capital, and like Zorgar would know this, because he was, he'd have been in the capital. Zarzan would know about this, because he's also from Scale, and Aaron would maybe not know so much about this, but basically it's like Dragonborn Christmas, and like the thing with like the basic premise of the holiday is that it lasts 3 days, like the last day of the year, the kind of monthless day at the start of the year, and then the first day of the real start of the year. And like at the beginning of Kaldai, you light a little fire, and then if your fire is still burning when you arrive, when at the end of it, then that's like a symbol of good luck, basically. So there's usually all these big events. There's lots of fire themed stuff happening.
Cool.
Balin
Sounds like
says,
a busy place to blend in and stuff.
he says, well, the Scale Lord always delivers a speech, and then there's he takes part in the tournament as well. So
Counter speech.
Perfect.
What tournament?
I mean, Zorgar, like you probably know that there's like a big like spectator sport tournament, like gladiatorial thing, and the specifics vary every year. But like it's usually like a kind of like a big, like basically like a big fight, but it's like a non-lethal fight normally. Sometimes they do occasionally they do like jousts or whatever. It's kind of like a standard tournament everywhere else. It's kind of the equivalent thing.
That would be the perfect place to show up and attempt to overthrow Valison.
Or at least another we are the minds, but we are the people.
We've been over this. We can't assassinate him.
We can't ruin Christmas.
Yeah.
We're bringing a merry, a good New Year.
Yeah. Bringing in the New Year with a bang.
Yeah, kill the king.
Kill the king.
Mr. Balin, we had also been given a lead before. A word I believe is a name. Saros. Saros. You heard anything about that?
I'm afraid it doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I don't know if Rick actually knows about this. Matt, maybe it's a good opportunity now to ask about refuge for the army with this guy in some way.
It's not a bad plan. You want to happen to know the 8th Legion are storming across some... what were the air boys called?
They're called the Air Boys.
Keldrath are just normal military, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are the air boys?
There isn't a specific clan for air shit. That's
No,
kind
is there
of
not?
yeah. It's basically just military stuff, so it kind of falls under Caldrath.
My bad. Yeah, the 8th Legion are already storming across. We've encountered Drake Riders. I was wanting to know if there's a safe place for my people to hide out. Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm not sure. I'm not really. I mean, it depends. Perhaps if you go off the southwest coast, there'll be some islands between here and Tyrus that might
Will
do it.
Suez not be checking those?
Not necessarily. I mean, they may. But you'd certainly be able to see them coming.
I didn't know there was islands. Do you perhaps
Small
have a
ones.
map? Small. You know where we could find one?
There are some between here and Tyrus. There's a sort of strait, and there's a handful of varying sizes. None of them are particularly large. I don't know how big your forces are. And obviously, it's quite a far away from the mainland. But
Okay.
otherwise,
Good to
Keldrath keep pretty good tabs on where rebels and insurgents might be hiding.
You know.
So, wait, Keldrath are the military people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously the 8th Legion, most of them defected. So that would imply not everybody in Keldrath is a raging brute. I don't know if you would know anybody else who may be persuaded, even on just the.
It's not really my ballpark, I'm afraid. I wouldn't say ballpark. So it's not really my. You might say it's not really my orchard.
Nice.
I'm certain anywhere you go, you will find people sympathetic to your cause. The problem is the repercussions they might face if they were open about it.
That seems to be the overarching issue for most people we speak to.
Well, if we get
Yours
enough
is not
quiet,
the first rebellion there have been whisperings about.
Is
Get
that
enough-
so?
Well, there have been many.
Recent rebellions?
No, they're
I take
usually
it.
squashed.
I was gonna say, I take it they stepped out.
Who would usually lead these kind of things, and what would their motives be?
But anyone that gets sufficiently fed up with the status quo.
I
Normal
take it
people,
no
normally.
one's got.
Yours is the most legitimate there's been for some time.
Take it no one's got very far.
No, Velisar has consolidated his position in ways no skill or dance for a long time.
well, if we get enough quiet support, then we can decide what to do, like big action-wise.
Yeah.
Be careful
Yeah,
about
maybe.
assurances.
Better than nothing.
Certainly, the chemiclans these days are a web of betrayals and whispers and backstabbings.
The other important question would be, who runs the newspapers again?
Clan and Rat.
Are they deep in anybody's pockets, or would they be easy to?
I'm not sure. Nari is is older than the others, but not. I suspect he is still in Velisar's pocket. Most are. Certainly, if Nari is not, there will be someone else. He is. I suspect the 10 claws are now. He has them under his control. So I'm certain there would be someone else he can. If Nari is sympathetic to her cause, it would not be difficult for him to be replaced with someone who wasn't.
Is there how much insight can you give us into the capital?
Well, what are you looking for?
Many troops? Are there big stations of military camps within Carantol?
Not traditionally. There are still guards, certainly, and the various common estates within the city are well guarded.
For this festival, do many people come from outside Carantol to celebrate?
Yes, anyone who can. Certainly it's a big event. Certainly security will be higher then, and it will also be higher in the weeks before. I understand Sulira, the city manager for Ormonth, is visiting next week.
And if Valasar were to be overthrown, what do you think the ones in his pocket would do?
Well, I expect they would still defect as soon as they were no longer on the winning side.
So they're
My
not.
problem is, what is the winning side? Like, is it as soon as Valasar is
Yeah,
that's
I think
it,
so.
or because we're saying we can't assassinate him or anything because that's too
No.
below the belt, I guess, and also would be difficult as fuck. But so what is the plan? We're just storming with a big group of people just to
I
get
don't
to
want
him.
to discuss the plan in front of sorry, Mr. Balin, just in case you're found out and
I'd rather not
information's
know.
leaked. There we go. I'd rather not discuss the plan. I maybe have a plan. I don't want to discuss it here.
Yeah, I guess the important question is: are they actually Valasar's allies, or are they just getting paid off? Because if they're actually his allies, that makes this a lot easier.
That's how scale politics mainly work. Is you're not necessarily like loyal. You're just aligned.
These days,
Especially
yes.
the newer clans. Or like the newer leadership in clans.
Okay.
I don't suppose you know any dirty secrets about Valasar? Anything swept under the rug?
I'm afraid not.
Do you
There is
know
We probably know more about
wrongdoings.
we probably know more about that than anyone else.
I mean,
Just in his
there is what
charging
happened
off
to your
into
father,
the-
but that's not really. That's common suspicion.
May I ask if Valasar were to fall, what would your thoughts be on a new leadership?
Well, it depends. Would you be taking over?
No.
That wasn't our proposed idea.
Our proposed idea is to replace a king with an even council, more like what they have on the mainland.
But less fighty and not like because they're trying to fight a king right now, so no
I
king,
should
just a
think that would
council.
be a. Certainly shouldn't expect it would be any worse.
Yes, the spirit.
The only fear of that system is the military size trying to take more.
Hmm.
Yes.
Unless
I suspect the scheming would not.
subside.
Yes. But
No.
I feel like Keldreth have to be dealt with in some capacity.
They need to be shown a sign of strength, not to betray. I don't know.
Well, if it is,
I don't suppose. Do you know any secret passages into Carantol? Any maps of the city we could access?
passages.
maps,
No.
I can give you maps. Secret
Of
passages.
Carantol?
Yeah, there's. We manage the roads, everything. We have the infrastructure. They're a little out of date, but
But there's no secret passages, no sewer entrances, no
I'm
secret
sure they'll be able to
cave
figure
underneath.
that
I'm sure
out.
there'd be ways in. But would the front door not be sufficient? You have disguises.
Yeah, we do have disguises.
Papers.
Oh, it's fine.
Hey, can you supply papers?
We're looking for papers as well.
Papers? What kind of papers?
Adventuring party papers and also papers for a ship.
Adventuring
Maybe
party
papers
papers. No
out.
such thing as adventuring party papers. What are you talking about?
I knew it!
How about traders? Trading papers.
Trading papers?
Any sort of identical, because we keep getting asked for papers constantly, wherever we go, pretty much from officials. We just would like something that would be substantial enough to keep us off someone's radar.
Will you be staying long?
Until after the ceremony.
I mean, will you? I can probably find something.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. You're welcome to stay. I need you to stay in your disguise, though.
That would be fine, because I can keep up disguises for pretty much ever. It's
a new disguise would potentially be.
I can do that. Also, we have certain other issues to deal with our own people and where they are. We might have to go back there, but also
yes,
I
I
want to stay
understand.
here.
Keldreth forces have been dispatched.
Yes, and I also want to deal with any potential spies here. I want to get that stamped out.
Do you know where specifically the Keldrath forces were deployed to? Do you know if they know where we are? Was anything said at the meeting?
The Scale Lord's instructions were for Raklos to mobilize for Chicali Harbor. He didn't elaborate any further than that. But I'm not sure if that's because others were present.
Also, cycling back to the papers, do you think you could get papers made up for a ship?
A ship would have to be done through Surus or Lukesh. I can get you papers as an agriculturist or a maintenance worker, perhaps.
I'll take a maintenance worker one if that's alright.
Yeah, I'll also take maintenance worker.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll take a maintenance worker.
I think we're all going to be maintenance workers.
I mean,
you're all getting one or the other. There's no picking and choosing.
It's basically one to cover most of us because, like, a bunch of us are going to look like children.
Children might be more difficult. But if parents would fine. Yes, I can sort.
I mean, we can just look like Gek if we need to. But it's a bit weird to see.
Gek is our cobalt friend.
Ah, I see.
It's a bit strange to see kobolds walking around, I would assume.
People have prejudices.
Right. Well, I guess we should suss out some spies.
Yeah, round them all up.
Yeah, maybe tell your staff that you have a cleric to just check in on everyone, I guess, and then get a meeting that way so you don't have any spies running away when they...
Alright.
Or assemble them somehow, I guess.
Should we also change disguises now?
Yeah, and do.
I can't speak Dragonborn, so that's gonna be a problem.
So
after you saying the questions?
You're on mute, cleric.
Is that correct? Does it have to be you saying the questions with the spell? Or could it be anyone?
Probably. Let's have a look. Right, so it's Zone of Truth. Where is that? I don't see it in my spells. Search. Okay, so.
Are there any other races other than Dragonborn that are common to see on scale randomly?
Halflings occasionally. I guess some immigrants.
Could make you look like a halfling instead, I guess.
Yeah, that works. My voice would be still deep, but you know.
What do you mean? Halflings can sound like anything.
Okay, I thought. Okay, cool. You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point in your choice within range. Until this spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak deliberate lie. It says nothing about who casts the question.
Nice.
So-
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll cast the spell. One of you pretends to be the cleric and ask a question. I don't know.
We also
Makes
have
it
to
up.
mention, though, that these trained spies will be very good at lying, so they'll probably do well on that roll.
You probably
Yeah, but we should be able to tell who's trying to save on it or not. I think. If you know what I mean, like when you just willingly let someone do something to do versus like saving on it.
you know whether a
You
creature
feel that resistance.
you know whether a creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right,
If they're
so
offering resistance, we'll know.
I will turn invisible and just have a little walk around outside to make sure nobody's being a sneaky bitch.
Sure. Well, if you guys are going to be hanging out at Balin Estate for a bit, we're probably going to 10 o'clock just now, so we'll probably stop there for this week, and we'll do your spying, fleshing out later on. And if you think of any other stuff you want to ask Ormac, you can do that for next week, and we can pick up here then. So, yeah, if you watch the stream, cheers for watching. We'll be back next Tuesday. See you later.